Hey guys, and welcome back to Salty TV. We are glad as usual to have you. As usual, I'm your host, Ayi, and
Claudia.
we'll let her introduce herself, our guest, before we start.
My name is Augusta Boatin. I'm a journalist and gender activist.
Okay. So last 2 weeks we had an interesting conversation with the psychologist lawyer William Osei. And then we spoke about having every right to get angry. We spoke about bitterness and all that. And now I'm sure we all learned something from it. And we realized that there's no need sometimes to hold on to a grudge when you're hurting yourself and the person is being freed. So today we're going to talk about letting go. Yes, so I would ask Obaya and Claudia how it feels like to let go.
It feels liberating. It feels good to let go, even though the process may not be easy. Because hurts or bitterness has a way of affecting us in our thoughts, in our actions, in whatever that we do. And sometimes prolonged hurts or bitterness actually becomes a part of you. And you feel like, I've lived with this experience, so this is who I am, or this is part of me. So when it gets to the point where you have to let go, it is not an easy thing to do. But letting go in a larger extent actually frees you. It makes you appreciate who you are beyond that bitterness. And I'm saying this from experience because I've had an experience where I had to let go of a pain. And I didn't even know I would be able to do it. I didn't know how it was going to happen. And I don't know how it happened. But the mere fact that I took that decision to let it go, after all, it has happened. I've learned from it. So what is holding me back from not letting it go and living beyond that mistake or living beyond that hurt? And so yes, letting go liberates you. It is a good feeling. It's a good thing to do, even when the pain or whatever that you are going through may be very grave. But it is the very best thing to do for yourself and not for the other person. It is actually for yourself.
Claudia.
Yes, like she said, letting go is self-liberating. There are some people who hurt you and they don't even know they've hurt you.
Yes.
You know? So assuming you have an issue with someone like that, that person has long moved on and you are holding on to it. That means the person has even put you in prison. And you wouldn't want to be in a place where someone has put you. You should be at a place where you want to be there.
Yeah.
You see, and so letting go, as easy as you make it look, might not be very easy for people. Naturally, I'm someone who easily gets over things. I'm that person who wouldn't pretend to be okay with something. If I'm not okay with something,
Okay.
I'll let you know. And after I let you know, I'm done. What I do is that I learn from it. I take cues from it. And so if I realize that, playing with you or relating with you to an extent would give you the chance to treat me in a certain way, I won't relate with you on that level again. You see, so when someone offends you, it's an opportunity for you to learn lessons. It's an opportunity for you to reposition yourself so you don't get hurt again. But don't hold anything against the person. Really, I mean, this life, what are we taking here? Fulfill your purpose, your assignments, make sure you're living right with God. The rest of the people, you're meeting them on the journey. So I don't really take a lot of things personal. If there's something for me to address, I address and I move on. And I don't really get entangled into a lot of things and I'm here with this person. Sometimes we also have to apply wisdom. If you know that you are very emotional or you cannot really contain a lot of things, know how you go about your things. You know, so that it's not like every time you are letting go of something. Some of us, we really have to let go of something because we are minding our business. You see, if we have to let go of something, it's very easy because, well, I feel like naturally it comes quite easy for me because I would address the situation and then get over it. I wouldn't keep it within me. So I feel like in the process of letting go, it's good you sometimes address the issue and then totally get over it. Some people pretend they have let go,
Yeah.
but they have not really let go because they never address the issue,
Yeah.
and they're acting as if everything is fine. If you do that, it will come back. It will come back to haunt you later. So the reason why some people struggle to find it to let go is because they don't address the issues. And addressing issue doesn't mean that you should go and fight or try to
serious
No,
confrontation.
I mean, what's up? Why did you do this? This is what you said I said or I did, or is that
Yeah.
oh, I did something, you didn't like it, I'm sorry, I didn't know you would. That's just it. It doesn't take anything away from you. If someone did something to you and you feel like, I've not done anything to deserve such a treatment. Sometimes if you feel like you are bold enough or you are strong enough to just overlook it and move on, overlook it and move on. Sometimes not even everything you have to address, because some people are not even matured enough to be able to sit with you to address
They
issues.
might even get you more angry.
Yeah. So look at the situation very well as a mature person. If you want to address it, address it. If you want to overlook it totally, and then
Free yourself.
Yeah, it's self-liberation.
Okay, Obaya, you said you've been through something that you had to let go. So at what point did you get to that you realized that this is not necessary, let me let go?
So there are two experiences actually, but one is very, very personal. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to touch
No,
on
you
that.
shouldn't.
There's another one where it was a friend and I, and we had started something together. And at a point we had to do it separately, even though she brought in that idea of doing it separately. But this is someone that we live together in the same room. So when she started her thing, she would make all the arrangements without my notice. And then she'd go ahead and do the thing. And people would call me, oh, so your friend did this and you did not support. And I had no idea about it. And like Roger said, I kept it in me and I was still smiling. But at a point I'm like, no, this is actually hurting me. Because every time she gets up to go, she has this free mind. And I'm the one holding on to things that really shouldn't be my problem. So one day I spoke to her that this and this is what is going on and I'm not really comfortable. And she apologized. Well, she did not apologize in apology, but she just told me the reasons why she's not involved me in it. And the long run, we had to go our separate ways. And that was when the whole shade thing started and a whole lot of things on social media. And it got to me so much that I had to leave social media for a couple of months because I couldn't stand what I was seeing. And the people that she has recruited
to hate you.
Yeah. And I spoke to my pastor about it and asked him how do I address this. I've spoken to her personally that, okay, we are Christians and we shouldn't be living this life. Can we talk about this and let it go? SMH was the response I got.
Hey, shaking my head.
As early as December 31st, I sent her a message thanking her for what she's done for me and all that. A very long message, all right, was the response I got. So, and I was like, why is it that she also offended me? So why am I the only one apologizing? Why am I? Yeah. So I was angry that she was not responding to my apology, and angry at the same time she's not apologizing because she also wronged me. But what I did was, it was getting to me. Every time that I see her name or someone mention a name, I had this feeling.
Boiling
and yes. And I realized that this thing is affecting me. It's affecting what I do and the people that we are close to. So what I did was to pray about it, seek counsel, and just let it go. And I let it go, not holding anything back. I let it go, not hating her. I let it go, not saying bad things about her. I let it go simply because this thing is not helping me mentally. It's not helping me what I'm doing. So just let it go. We have not addressed it entirely, like Claudia said, because this thing really needs addressing. Because she has an assumption, I have an assumption. We've not had that open conversation about what really happened and who went wrong. Because now I feel like I'm right. And she feels like she's right. We're all playing the victim here. We've not really addressed it. But I have tried on several occasions to have that conversation with her, and she doesn't seem to do that. And so on my part, I have let it go. I have prayed about it, apologized, seek forgiveness, even when she hasn't given it to me. and I'm living my life with that open mind. Whether she still holds me in her heart, that is entirely up to her.
Yeah.
Because we are old enough to make decisions, informed decisions that are good for us. I can't force her to forgive me. I can't force her to let it go. But really, it all boils down to individual liberation. Sorry, I'm letting go and I'm living my life. I can see her today and not have that same feeling I used to have because of the step that I took to forgive and to let it go.
Okay, so the last question is, as a Christian, what advice would you give to someone who is holding back on so many things, so has pain in their hearts or some sort of bitterness, so it's going with the caption, I have every right to be angry. So what advice would you give as a Christian?
Okay. The truth of the matter is that if you are a true Christian, someone who has a relationship with God, you realize that even when you are at loggerheads with someone, you don't feel good about it. It's not because you are scared of the person or because the person is right. Sometimes you might be very right, and sometimes if you're even supposed to confront the person, you can handle the person very well. But some of the things is not Christ-like,
Yeah.
you know. And when you know how to fight your battles, God will not fight for you. And you see, sometimes it might keep long before you realize that, oh, okay, God has really vindicated me. But you know what? Just let go and trust that God will come in for you. It's just a matter of time. You see that everything will just play right before your eyes. Oh, okay, so this person thought that, but now you see. And even then, you don't have to rejoice because, okay, just thank God that at long last, you know. And when that person, and you know, funny enough, the person also learned a lesson from that situation. So you just try and let go. But what can you do about it? Sometimes people lose sight of the fact that, to what extent human beings, until you've gotten to a certain point in your life, maybe you've gotten to the point where you are so sick that you are coming to die, or you've gotten to some situation that is so bad, we feel like we are all that. But we are not. We are not really all that. Like today we are here, tomorrow we are not. You know. And what does God expect of us? We have to let brotherly love continue. Even if the person offended you, the person is not seeing some people who offended don't even see what they've done wrong.
Yeah.
And they would rather go about spreading it. But me, I chose a path long time, and I thank God for it. You can reduce the level of drama that comes into your life. And so if you know that letting go is important for you, take some of these decisions. But if you have already found yourself in such situations, just trust God and then focus more on God. Get more personal with God. And just with time, from the beginning, it will be difficult for you. When you see the person, you feel like you are scared, you are tense. Just try and let it go. And see what God will do at the end of the day. You see, and even when you don't let go, it blocks your blessings.
Yeah. Of course.
It blocks your blessings. So why would you let another human being be the reason why you cannot do what God wants you to do?
Yeah.
You see, so when you think that way, you just leave the person to do what he or she wants to do.
I like what she said so much, because now I have learned something. It's funny how we are sitting here talking about letting go, and I actually have to let go of something, which happened quite recently. It's different from what I said.
Then you have experiences.
That people that I confront or are close were actually accusing me of something that I didn't do. And they were laughing with me. And the day I figured what this is all about, because I had already seen certain behaviors that they were given, and I wasn't comfortable. I had confronted some of them, and they said, "Oh, there's nothing. I just would be my circle, my corner." But actually, there was something going on between them, and they were laughing with me. So when this happened, I spoke to authority, and then there was a meeting. Everything was done, but I still was so angry that I have not done this. I can't do that. But why does this person feel that I've done it? Because then really, all along, the person has this thought or this perception about me. I didn't let it go. When I see them, I get angry within me, but I pretend that I was okay. And I like what she said, that God will vindicate. But before God vindicates, let it go. Just let it go, so that when God
And allow
vindicates,
God.
exactly.
What she said.
Even when you let go, that is when the vindication comes easily. It
Yeah,
comes
you have to
faster.
allow God.
You let it go and you let God take control. At the end of the day, when the truth comes out, you already have healed
From it.
from whatever that happened. It's not at that moment that you're coming to now deal with all those things. You have already healed. You learn, the other person learn from it. And so letting go is very important, regardless of what happens, regardless of how bad the situation is.
Just let go.
But it is a very difficult path to take, or journey. A very difficult one.
Yeah.
You might think, oh, I've let it go, but something will trigger and you, have I really let go, or am I still angry? So it doesn't happen just like that. It takes time, but eventually you have to let go.
Yeah. And what I will say then we end is Christ died for our sins. And when he died, you can't tell me since you were born, you've never ever sinned before. You definitely sinned before. And then have you thought of the fact that if Christ never lets go, that means his death would be in vain.
Yeah.
So I feel like if Christ came down to go through the shame and die for our sins, we shouldn't feel too big and hold a grudge against someone. Or, because the truth is, some people hurt you and they don't even know they've hurt you. And you might have even hurt someone and you don't even know you've hurt the person. Just imagine we are all holding grudges. The world won't be a happy place. So just let's go and then be like more like Christ. Forgive and move on. Just as he forgave us our sins, just forgive and move on. So that's basically it. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, madam.
There's anything else you want to
Yeah,
add?
that's
Okay, so that's it for letting go. If you didn't watch last week's episode, I think you should watch it. It talks so much about bitterness and pain and anger, and I'm sure you learned something from it. Thank you very much. Bye.